Hello, welcome everyone. We have a Makers Monday live, number 55, and I am Laura Mester of Laura's Stamping Legacy Studio, and I do lives about once a month, and oftentimes they are a card demonstration. So it's fun to get everyone together. Hello, I see somebody's watching. If you're watching, give me a thumbs up or a like. Let me know you're there. We are going to do a demonstration tonight, but until we get everybody in here, we will talk just a little bit. Of course, it's exciting. This is a fresh new year. I know I always say it's exciting, but it is. When I got back into doing some creating today and yesterday, I just felt really good. It's good to be back and doing things that you can be in total control of, which it feels like when you're in your crafting space. I don't know if you feel that way, but I do feel that way. So I had a lot of fun creating this, which is our challenge card bookmark that we will be talking about in just a little bit. But it is a fresh new year, and we have a new catalog. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go online to Stamping Up. Got some wonderful new things in there. And of course, it's celebration. And let me take a look here before I go further to make sure I can't see comments as well on the phone, so I've got to make sure my iPad is doing what it should down here. Give me just 1 second while I get this set up. Give me a thumbs up in the meantime. Let me know you're there. Here we go. Yeah, it appears to be working, which is a good thing, right? Okay. Oh, hi, Sarah. I see that you're in. Welcome everyone. I already did the introductions and we talked about that there's the new catalog, and this is celebration. Instead of twice a year, we're going to do celebration once a year now. So if you want to take advantage of that sale, you've got until the end of February. So, and I did I showed stuff during my last live. And I did make one creation. I know it's been busy. Everyone's been busy with Christmas and everything as we got into the new year here. But this was from the Rain or Shine suite. Just a wonderful suite with dies and stamps. Some neat little embellishments. There's these little flowers, if you can see them. Hi, PM. Welcome in. Good to see you here. This was something I created just before Christmas because I needed some birthday cards. And this is something that's out of the new catalog. So I'll probably do product shares if you all complete the challenge cards. I know we're talking about the challenge cards. For those that haven't done it, I will demonstrate a card idea to make and give you a couple weeks to make it. Then we draw a winner from that. But everybody that participates gets a little mini product share. So maybe we'll do some mini product shares of the products that were in this new suite. That would be fun. Oh, and there is a host code running. I have a couple people that have ordered already. It's host code D4FM9. It's on my website and posted. That's going to close on the 11th if you want to get in on that one. We do have enough in there already that it has the rewards built up. And if you want to get in and get your order in of at least 50, because that's during celebration, I make it that because most people go for that amount before tax and shipping, and then you earn a chance for the stamping rewards. And I will pull a drawing. I'll draw the winner of that on the 12th. So that's coming up really quick this week. So never fear, though, if you can't get in on this one, I will start another one after that one closes. They can only run so long, and that one's been running since the middle of December. But one other thing I wanted to ask you all to do, and you can comment here. I did do a post in the group about this. I'd love to do an in-person workshop the end of the month. I haven't decided for sure of the time or day, but hopefully I had mentioned maybe Thursday the 20, what day would that be? 24th, I guess? Yeah. I'm sorry, that's the Tuesday. 26th would be the Thursday. So I could do a Thursday evening. I could do some time on Saturday the 28th or Sunday afternoon the 29th. So if you would like to do a workshop at the end of the month and are available, tell me what time works for you, what day, and maybe we can sort out what we're going to do. And that would be a great time to have the workshop because it's during this period when we have the new catalog and the celebration stuff. So it's nice to see the products in person sometimes, especially the papers. So comment about that or post in the group about that if you wouldn't mind. Nice to see you here. Thank you all for coming. So why don't we go ahead and turn down for the demo. So I think if those of you had a chance to look, I was thinking to make a bookmark. I don't know why. I'm always trying to think of what to do for a challenge. There's so many things you can do. And of course, I was running last week and didn't have much time. So I thought I have never done a bookmark. So that might be a nice thing to do. But then you can do a bookmark and incorporate it into a card. So I found a really neat design that Connie Stewart had done. And it worked really good with one of the papers that's free in the Celebration catalog. So if you saw, it is the card, but it's actually the bookmark too. This is the bookmark. It slides right out of there. So there's one little tricky part of this. So we will demonstrate that. Let me open it up so you'll see. There are actually some slits in that front flap. So you got to know where to do those and how to do those. I followed from some wording that someone had done, but I think it's going to be much easier if you can watch someone do it on the video. So that's why we'll demo that. But, and this was the Celebration paper, and this is from the Better Days stamp set, this sentiment. So, but that's what we're going to demo today. If you want to do a different type of bookmark, hi Sharon, welcome in. This is our challenge card that I'm demoing. You could do a bookmark. This is an example that I got. It's a vintage item from an estate sale. But you could do one that has more of a large, tall sentiment. I've seen bookmarks that are cute like that, or just with some stamping. But I focused on designer series paper because I was trying to pull this together somewhat quickly today. But this is just a gorgeous paper. It is, I cut it all apart, but it's in the Celebration catalog. That's all right that you're late, Sharon. That's a good reason to be late. Organizing. I still need to organize. But this is the paper. It's called Dainty Flowers DSP, and it's 12 by 12. And one of these sheets, and I've cut it all apart, but one of these sheets has these gorgeous floral wreaths and gorgeous panels that look just like that. So that made me think of a bookmark. So I've cut mine all apart already, but this is the other. There's 6 of the circles on each 12 by 12 and 2 of these panels. So I'm going to be making 4 of the bookmark cards. And that is in the Celebration catalog. It's one of the free items. If you look at this card over here, you'll see one of those floral wreaths. I can't go backwards with my fingers. Oh, there they But this is an example of a card made with that paper too. So hang tight. Oh, hi, Donna. Long time no see. Welcome in. You haven't missed anything. I'm just about to turn down for the demo. So hold tight. Here we go. Sometimes it blips during this. If you happen to lose me, just back out and restart. And you should be able to get me moving again. If only it were that easy, right? All right, here we go. That doesn't look too bad. I know you're a little high up there, but hopefully we can see what's going on. Don't worry about what the dimensions are. You know I'm going to post a post about that later. I took a picture of this, and I will post all that. So, Donna, for your benefit, 'cause I know you're just joining in, this is the card, and it's actually a bookmark. So that is our challenge. This slips right out of there, and that's a bookmark. And just to show you what I really have to demo, there are slits that we cut in that. So it's a little tricky with our cutting board. So we're going to go over that right now. But it's not hard, trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. The dimensions are here. So there's 3 pieces that create your bookmark. This is 2 by 5.5. And then the panel under that, I used, I just read the paper and tells you what colors are in there. This is rich raspberry, 2 1/4 by 5.5. I don't know if anyone, Sharon, did you order that paper? I know you got some of the celebration items. Yeah, it's kind of neat having useful things. And if it's a birthday card, then you're giving them a little present. That's what I was thinking. Hi, Susan. Glad you came in. I'm trying to catch up here. It's tricky when I'm starting the demo. So 2.5 by 5.5. So these 3 pieces will go together to make our bookmark. I'll set those aside for a second. There's our host code up in the corner. That's easy to read in case you need that. Remember, the host code's closing on Wednesday. So if you want to order something, it's you got to do $50 for a chance. That's what I do during celebration. 50 is usually what people spend, so they get a free product. This will be the inner liner of the card, 5 by 3 3/4. And then I did a sentiment on a piece of white, whisper white, that was 1 by 3.5. I just stamped it and I flagged it. You're going to need some ribbon. I did 6 inches of ribbon. That's our retired bumblebee. What do you call that? Gingham. Losing it here. And then this is your card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. And it is scored at that 5.5 mark as well. So first thing you're going to do, I'm going to move these aside for just a second so I don't get in trouble. Me get in trouble? Never, right? Ooh, awesome. Thank you, Donna. Love to hear it. Oh, you got the 2 stamp sets. So you got the owl stamp set, which is adorable. I still want to make something with that. And what's the other stamp set? Oh my goodness, this tells you how bad I am. Oh, the one with the carrots. Yes, this is the other free $50 free stamp set. I saw the neatest, most unique card made with this. They took the carrots, they took the carrots and these, and they turned them upside down and stamped them. And they made really modern looking trees. They had them in different shades of green. And these were like, bushes and stuff. It was the most unique. There's another stamp set. The most unique card I think I've seen. Hold on, let's see. Where's the other stamp set? Oh, the sending support. Yes, that's really, really sweet. I think, is that the one that you have, Melina? I don't know that Melina's in here yet. I didn't see the repeated comment, so it's all good, Donna. All right, let's keep going. Back to the demonstration. So this is the most important part. Okay, we talked about dimensions. Now we're going to make the slit for the bookmark. So take your base and put your card base in the trimmer with a 5.5 inch side at the top. Okay? So we got the 5.5 inch side at the top. Put it at the 2 inch mark right here. Get my light over a little bit so I can see. Okay, there it's at the 2 inch mark. See that? Okay. Here's the tricky part for seeing, which is hard to do when you're on camera. It's a little easier when you're at your own house and you can see everything there. Oh, you got the carrots, Donna. Cool. I want to make one of those cards. Okay, so you want to don't put your arm down yet. This is up in the air here. Take your cutting blade and put it at the number 8. If you look on the edge of your cutting blade, you'll see there's little lines that tell you, it's a line in the middle to tell you where that blade actually is. So you want to put that little line right on the 8. Then you want to put your cutting blade down, put the whole arm down. And you want to move your cutting blade from the 8, I got to read my directions here. You want to slide it up to the 5 1/4. So 5.5 is there. 5. So you're going to slide this up to the 5 1/4. That's the 5 1/2. This is the 5 1/4. Okay, lift that up. Now you're going to move this at the top. It was at 2. You're going to back it off to 1 1/4. So get yourself back to 1 1/4. There you are. Now get your marker back to 8. Get your cutting blade back to 8. And put it back down again. Am I at 1 1/4? Hold on, ladies. Let's check where we are here. Let's make sure I'm at 1 1/4. Sometimes things will move on you. This is at 8. This is at 1 1/4. Okay, that's back down. You want to go up to 5 1/4 from the 8. So 5 1/4 again, because you're making 2. You've got to make 2 cuts in the paper to make the slit. Okay, there we are. See if I did a good job. Not bad. Let's see if anyone's... All right, so there's that. We won't need a cutting board again. Let me get that out of the way without dropping anything. All right, take your base, get your bone folder, give it a little bit of a rub so you get it flat. Okay, there we are. Next thing you should do is put your bookmark together. When I was cutting, if anyone has this, gets this paper and uses this, I guess it's, if you'd have to have it already, but if you had that paper in hand, I did have to trim that down a little bit for it to fit at the 5 1/2. So these 3 pieces are going to go together. You're going to want to make sure that you, because this is a bookmark and they're going to have this and all this, I would use a strong adhesive to put them together for one thing, because that's going to be used over and over again. And also on this card, this is a card, sure, with a sentiment there, and you're going to have a sentiment. I haven't done the inside yet, just pulled this together today, but you have a sentiment here. But also they're going to take that out, so that's still a card, but you should also do a sentiment on the back, because they're going to have this elsewhere. So this was out of the umbrella. Which one? Under My Umbrella, which is a retired stamp set. But just like a card, I also put the Made with Love there. And this is actually a current stamp set. That is the, if you don't have limited edition, this is in the annual catalog, and you can do all of these wonderful sentiments on your card to say that you made it. But anyway, so you need to stamp that before you assemble the bookmark. So I've already stamped. So go ahead and get a good adhesive. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Good old Tombow. Multi-purpose. I guess we're not supposed to say the actual trade name, but I think we all know what it is. Or your favorite liquid glue. I shouldn't say that either, but I know we have favorites. Or super strong regular adhesive. So line this up as best you can. You'll have a little 1/8 of an inch on either side of your paper. I like using the glue too, because then you can wiggle it a little bit around. And if you're not totally lined up, you can always trim it if you want. If that bothers you, if it doesn't bother you, whatever. That's not too bad. It's hard for me to see here while I'm doing. Can always trim it later. And then you'll do the same to adhere it. Just make sure if you've stamped it that you got your stamp going the right way. I've been known to do that. Or to do the card base the wrong way. Anyone done that? Your card opens wrong. You just cut the front off and do it again, right? That's what I do. Hi, Cindy. Welcome in. Hi, Sean. Glad to see you. I love everybody coming in today. So we're just working on the challenge card. If you're just coming in, you'll have to go back and look. I will post a photo of the dimensions. It is a card that's a bookmark holder. And you can, when you create this, you can create with DSP, or I did show an example of you could make a bookmark that maybe has, this is a vintage, I didn't do this one, this is from an estate sale. But you could stamp or have a saying on it, color on it, whatever you want to do. Now you're going to have to get a really good, strong brad puncher or hole puncher to make sure you get through. The one I used for this one, which is an older style, smaller slit one, wasn't really strong enough. I had to resort to a X-Acto knife, but this punch will do it for me. So unfortunately, you'll be punching a little bit into your flower, but not too bad. This is where your ribbon will go. So just line it up, give yourself a good hard punch. Told you that would get through there. Nothing like a hole punch. I know we have different Stampin' Up! Products to do that. I just don't have one yet. So I just grabbed my handy dandy hole punch. You needed the 6-inch little thing of ribbon. So that'll go through there as well. So that goes here. And you can put that through and just wind your way through it like this. Okay. And that is the top of your bookmark. Go ahead and put it through the slit like this. This really comes out looking elegant, and this really makes a neat thing. Trying to see what everyone's saying. Yes, I'm glad you're here, Cindy. Once you got it to this point, go ahead and get some dimensionals, because you're going to want to put this over top of that, of course, to cover up the neat mechanism we have hiding there. So get yourself, I always like to use my Take Your Pick tool, a couple dimensionals. I'm going to hide them here and here because of the way my sentiment goes. You could also do a sentiment that's an oval. That would work there if you have oval dies. It's whatever it is, so just so that it will, hides the area where you're sliding that into. There's a lot of creativity you can do with that. And I'm just going to put one of these over here, and then just put your dimensionals in such a way that they will help your sentiment rise up and cover your mechanism. So I was really pleased with this when I found it. And like I said, I've cased this idea from Connie Stewart. She did one a couple years ago with a different DSP. So just line this up so that sorry, my head's getting in the way for y'all. Put that over there. I went ahead, and now I've lost them. There. I went to ornamental envelopes, which is an old stamp and die set. But you could fussy cut a couple little flowers from somewhere from the DSP, or if you've got a floral set, you could stamp and punch or stamp and die. I tried to pick up, this is actually a rich raspberry. This is stamped off once, and this is, again, so there was the strongest one, the medium one, and the lightest one. I'm not using the strongest color. So this actually picks up the pink. So if you look at this one, it's obviously very much, you don't have the slit punch? We'll use the circle punch. Yeah, use the hole punch if you don't have the slit. I had a really old, it's an old style Stampin' Up! One actually. And I couldn't get it to go through there's 3 layers of paper there, so that's a lot to ask of a smaller old-fashioned punch like this, even though there is a little Stampin' Up! One. It just couldn't do it. I also, if you change the size of this, I had to keep this one at 2-inch, and then it got bigger and bigger. If you keep it down to 2-inch, you could use the, where did it go? Because I was going to use this, and I realized it didn't work. You could use this one, which is our elegant tag topper, I think it's called. This is retired, but some people probably have that one. Like I said, if you ended up with a 2-inch, total 2-inch size, so you'd have to start out smaller and add a couple layers, you could use this as your tag topper, which would be elegant as well. Another option you could do, But I like the straight look of this. You could always use a corner rounder. Stampin' Up! Has one, of course. I know it's a competitor's name, but you could corner round those if you wanted to. So, but I like the straight look of this one. So anyway, and your last thing to do is just put a few little floral embellishments on here, just to add a little something and to pick up some of the color from the back. Now that this is again, you know, what I'm doing, and you're going to get your own creative spin on this, which is what I love to see what you all do. But I don't know, I can't, these are one of my favorite. I know people hate these, but if you know how to manipulate them with your take your pick tool, I almost like these better than mini glue dots, the ones that come on the roll, just because I can place them and then quickly do this. There's one there. What do I want? The other dark one over there, and one here. There we go. So another one done. I'll put the liner in there. And then that's our challenge card. So hold on, ladies. Let me go ahead and get us turned around here. So happy and thankful that you're all in today. Hopefully. Okay, we should all be together. There we are. Yay, there's 7 of us here. Hooray, hooray. So great. Thank you for everyone that placed an order and got some of the wonderful new things. Oh, I do love the sheets of glue dots. I do wish they would sell them too. I know they sell some sort of sheets like that in Michael's, but it's not as good as ours. It's not the same thing. And demonstrators have asked them to do that, Cindy. We've asked repeatedly to sell those, but they haven't done that yet. But this was out of one of the big kits. And some people didn't. I was at a demonstrator thing, and we were using kits, and people didn't want to use these. They were using the old adhesives. So I was so excited. I was thrilled to come home with like 2 sheets of these with all these dots on them. So if anyone doesn't like these, I'm willing to trade for them. You need vellum? What kind of vellum? I'll have to look, Sharon. Or I'm sorry, Sarah. We do have vellum in the annual catalog for sure. So, and there's some with different patterns on them and some that are just plain. So, but anyway, I will be drawing a rewards winner on the 12th. So look for an impromptu, either live or just a video somewhere. Yeah, that's where I love them, and I hate when I run out of them, Cindy. It's like a special little bonus treat, right? So, and I can't wait to see the creations. You've got until the 22nd. So if you're going to make that bookmark card for the challenge card, get working on that. And you know how that works. I'll close that on the 22nd and draw a winner probably the next day for a little prize for that, like we always do. And of course, we have the product share for that too. I do want to mention, remember, I'm trying to have an in-person workshop. So if you would like to come and can come the last weekend of this month, I actually put a post in the group about it. You can choose, I'm trying to decide a date. So I threw out that possibly on Thursday, the 26th in the evening, or sometime on the Saturday, which is the 28th, or Sunday afternoon, which is the 29th. So go post about what you'd like, or tell me here what you would like if you're available of those dates. Also, before I forget, I don't know if Shirley's in here. Shirley and Barbara's crop is coming up. They have an event where they pull you all together for a day and you can work on your crafting and shop at some vendors. It's on the west side, and that's on February 11th, and it's for a good cause. It's Girls with a Purpose cause, and I forget what they're benefiting this year, but they pick something different each year. So I'm looking forward to that, and I will be there as a vendor. But thanks everyone for tuning in. It seems like forever since we got together, but it's really been less than a month, almost a month. And we were also busy, but hooray, we can come back and start stamping and crafting again. And we've got some new great products to do that with too. So thank you again for tuning in tonight. I can't wait to see your challenge cards. And I'll talk to you again soon. We will be doing the drawing on Thursday. So take a peek in, and we'll see who from the people that placed orders will win the stamping rewards. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great, great night. Thanks for coming in, PM. Great to see you all here. Bye-bye.